Hello everybody, my name is Coco Coffee, I exist and create, and welcome back to my channel. This video is the result of another format idea I had, so just bear with me for a second. I am an aspiring animator, self-taught, and I want to make a show called Eden. If you aren't familiar with my older content on Instagram, Eden will be a web series in a post-nuclear war world in which every nation lives in the safety of the underground. As with most of my stories, I keep a journal to list my characters and the environment they live in. Eden is no different. I'm starting on a new section of this journal, what I'd like to call the Royal Journal, that'll be talking about the backgrounds or different locations and characters. Some of them I won't be able to show you because they'd be spoilers, and I don't want to spoil something I haven't really started yet. Anyways, we'll be starting with a brief background/introduction of Winnie Emily Jack Auburn. Fun fact, Winnie's middle name was originally spelled Jack, with 2 Ks, but it was a little too hard to remember because I don't write out her full name all the time, so I ended up keeping it simpler. I decided I didn't want to bother with rulers or lines too much this time around like the rest of their profiles indicate, so I'm writing down the details on this yellow lined paper I like a lot in pencil, to avoid mistakes, before I put it in the book. I'll read out what it says to you once I go over it in pen, but just sit tight. After I finished that, I trimmed down the extra off the paper so I could have equal margins in the journal and no empty space. I then opened up the journal to the next blank page to put in the title page for this section, which I'll add a cover to later like I have with the previous 2 sections. Here, I'm putting the journal in the paper, using my stapler to hold it still while I work on the border of the paper. To make straighter lines, I cut a couple pieces of masking tape in half and used a sharpie with the paper underneath to catch any bleed through. After this, I went through with the next step by rewriting what I wrote in pen. The journal reads as such. Winnie Emily Jack Auburn is the 3rd princess of the Auburn monarchy and the next heir to the throne. She holds Crown 3, or the Emerald Crown, and will be officially sworn in as queen on the 6th-month anniversary of the queen's death. The current royal advisor will assist her in picking her personal advisor. Winnie isn't sure of if she wants to actually be the queen. She's certain that something is off about the whole royal operation, especially with how she's observed the way her mother interacts with the advisor. Things have been off ever since the incident in high school, and her mother's request provides for a good excuse to reunite with her old friends and figure it all out once and for all. The best place to start? The source of the incident. Now that I finished the text, I can't leave the rest of the page so empty and bland, right? I decided to really personalize these backstories by adding what do you call it? A portrait? A header? I guess a header, of Winnie herself. Of course, it's a little exaggerated to make it more interesting, but I chose to use her hair and facial features as the main point of the image, as well as some plants to go with it for her love of real wildlife. Each character has somewhat of a theme color-wise, so I chose to make the header a simple mix of black, blue, and white to depict shading, color, and lighting. For this image, I used a 0.7 black Pentel gel pen for the darker lines, 1 black and 1 blue Sakura Pigma brush pen for the color, and a dark blue Staedtler, is that how it's pronounced? Fine liner for the lighter lines and the plants. I also decided to add an image to the bottom of the page. Originally, it was going to be a second picture of Winnie, but I wasn't sure of how I wanted to do that, so I scrapped the idea and decided to go with a sun and moon along with her WA initials. I gave the sun and moon little eyes and kept them black and white, using a Staples brand permanent marker to fill in the color before going over it with my black Sakura Pigma brush pen. I then went back with my gel pen after erasing to add some stippled shading before finally finishing it off with her initials and more plants. And that's it. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I'm still not entirely sure how much you guys like these videos where I'm talking literally the entire time. So if there's anything you think I should change or that you'd like for me to do the next time, let me know in the comments. The next video will be another one of these, maybe with less talking, but we'll be focusing on Steven. You can expect that video to go up sometime around the end of this month, and right now I'll be going to work on my comic and Eden script. This has been long enough of an outro, but if you want to see more art, all of my links are in the description. I hope to see you again soon, and I wish you all the loveliest of mornings, afternoons, or evenings. Coco Coffee, signing out.